Amriteshwariye Nama, respected dignitaries, academic and research fraternity, on behalf of Amrita Vishwavidyapitham, Kochi campus, let me welcome you all to the second edition of the International Symposium on Media Education and Research, ISMER 2023. The three-day symposium will showcase expert talks, panel discussions, and paper presentations on the latest developments and prospects in the field of media and communication. Let us begin this auspicious event by invoking the blessings of the Almighty. I request our Director and Dean, Dr. U. Krishna Kumar, to light the lamp first and hand it over to our respected Chief Guest, Shri NSK Umesh IAS, District Collector, Ernakulam. I also request Sambhujya Swami Purnamritananda Puri, General Secretary of Mada Amritanandamayi Mad, to light the lamp. I also request Dr. S. Dinesh Babu, Convener ISMER and Assistant Professor, Department of Visual Media and Communication, and Dr. Harikrishnan D., Assistant Professor and Head, Department of Visual Media and Communication, to join the dignitaries to light the lamp.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunattu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
Let's mark the beginning of this remarkable occasion with a welcome address by Dr. U. Krishna Kumar, Director and Dean, Amrita Vishwavidyapitham, Kochi campus. Dr. U. Krishna Kumar is a member of the Board of Management of Amrita Vishwavidyapitham, deemed to be university, accredited with NAC A++, fifth in the NIRF, and recommended by UGC as Institution of Eminence. He had his BTech degree from Calicut University, ME in Computer Science from IISc Bengaluru, and PhD in Computer Science from IIT Mumbai. He has more than 40 years of academic and research experience in India and abroad. He has also served as principal investigator of DST project in cognitive science. He is a life member and patron of Computer Society of India and life member of Indian Society for Technical Education. Sir, I humbly request you to address the gathering.
Om Amriteshwariye Namaha. My humble prostrations at the lotus feet of our most beloved Amma, Sadguru, Shri, Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, who is also the Chancellor of the Amrita Vishwavidyapitham, deemed to be university. My humble prostrations to our Pujaniya Swami Purnamritanandapuri, General Secretary of the Mata Amritanandamayi Mad, My humble pranams to the Chief Guest of Honor, respected District Collector, Shri Umesh, IAS, and the other invited dignitaries who are going to address you in this session, Dr. Keval J. Kumar, Dr. Nirmal Adhikari. My humble pranams to all of you. The delegates as well as the participants and the faculty of the Department of Visual Media and Communication, and to the dear students who have been part and parcel of this organizing effort for the last so many days. Let me at the outset congratulate especially the students of the Bachelor of Design course who did the design and the work connected with the stage itself. They made the stage. It is an assignment given to them on design. And they were amply supported by the postgraduate students of the department. I had great pleasure and pride in welcoming you all to this second edition of the International Conference Symposium on Media Research. Vishwavidyapitham has been on the forefront of research in all the domains of knowledge where courses are being offered in the university and in the media research. This campus is at the forefront and having produced so many PhDs, having published world-class publications in the international journals, and all these have motivated us to take up the sojourn of this second media symposium. Consecutively, the second time we are conducting it. And this time, we have eminent speakers, professionals, and professors from different reputed universities taking part to share their rich expertise and knowledge with the participants. And all the more, it is most encouraging that this year in the ISMER 2023, we have more than 70 research papers to be presented by scholars and academicians from both India as well as abroad. And we have arranged 6 panel discussions. And this also forms the gateway. These discussions will form gateway to giving ideas towards the Civil 20 movement, of which Amma, our Chancellor, herself is a chair. And G20 is being chaired by India. And the past decade has been, we have seen a phenomenal increase in the influence, spread, and consumption of media all over the world. In fact, we are living in a media dependent society now. Media has increased responsibility towards all sections of society. And in this context, the research and innovation in the media sector gains more importance than any other domain of knowledge also. And the ISMER 2023 envisages providing a platform for media professionals and research scholars to communicate, network, and exchange ideas. And especially in the context of C20, Civil 20, it will contribute a lot towards the development of the commune. And I have great pleasure in welcoming our Chief Guest of Honor, Shri NSK Umesh IAS, respected District Collector of Ernakulam. We have two other guests of honor today. I extend a hearty welcome to Dr. Keval J. Kumar, Adjunct Faculty at the Mudra Institute of Communications, Ahmedabad, and Dr. Nirmal Adhikari, Associate Professor, Department of Languages and Mass Communication at the Kathmandu University, Nepal. Before I take up the task of welcoming others, let me try to give a humble introduction to the profile of our Chief Guest, Shri Umesh NSK. When the plans for the ISMER 2023 were set in, I told the organizing faculty, mainly Dr. Hari Krishnan, the head of the department, and Dinesh Babu, I told them we should invite, since it is forming part of the C20, we should invite the district collector, because district collectors are those major instruments of administration, giving the whatever may be the domains of knowledge or expertise or service, they pass it on directly to the civil society. They are responsible. It is their major task what they are executing. And when they do this, they learn quite a lot and they teach quite a lot to the society how to do service selflessly. So let me introduce our Chief Guest of Honor, Shri Umesh NSK. He belongs to the Indian Administrative Service. He was just 24 years old when he cleared the UPSC examination. Shri Umesh, though settled in Tamil Nadu, he hails from Saurashtra. He has a lot of hobbies like non-fiction reading, watching cricket, blogging, etc. His father, Shri NKS Keshavan, is retired senior manager from the Indian Bank, and mother, Srimati R.B. Bhanumati, currently works in the Syndicate Bank. Shri Umesh has one brother, Shri NSK Omkar, who is a software engineer in Cognizant Technologies at Coimbatore. Shri Umesh completed his school in Salem. He then pursued his undergraduate BTech studies at the PSG College of Technology in Coimbatore between 2007 and 11. It was in 2010 that he began preparing for during the final year, he started preparation for the civil service examination. And in 2015, he could crack the UPSC examination with 77th rank. It's a very coveted achievement. He gained public recognition for his contributions during the 2018 floods in Wayanad, where he was serving as a sub-collector of Manandavadi. It's the context where, when I read this, I thought of mentioning that the district collectors, they are the pillars of the civil society in the administrative machinery of the government. And he has made excellent service to the society, especially the 2018 floods in Wayanad was devastating. And at the time of organizing this ISMER 2023, we had requested Dr. Renuraj, the then district collector. She readily agreed to come, but then The government officers, anytime they can expect transfer, anytime in their career from any place. It's quite natural for them. So when Shri Umesh took charge as the district collector of Ernakulam, head of the department again went there, and it is so gracious that he readily agreed to come as a chief guest. This is really magnificent. When he agreed to come here, and in spite of all these busy schedules, it's only hardly 15 days since he took charge as the district collector. I bow down to his magnanimity for this. Again, once again, a most humble pranams and welcome to Shri NSK Umesh. Our Bhajaniya Swamiji, the General Secretary of the Madhamardhan Devimat, is one of the senior most disciples of Amma. Having been with Amma under Amma's tutelage of spiritual wisdom, he has traveled with Amma in almost all countries where Shri Amma goes every year, more than 33 countries, and has been spreading the wisdom of love and compassion. What Amma is, for which Amma is an embodiment. And Swamiji is an eloquent scholar, musician, singer, and writer. And in his service as the spiritual disciple of, the senior most disciple of Amma, he has seen thousands and thousands, led them through from the what we termed in prayer as Asatama to Sadgamaya. He has been able to lead, especially youngsters, from the wrong to the right. It's the greatest service he has done. In his erstwhile life, he has been an electronics engineer and doing research at the Raman Research Institute in Bangalore before joining Amma's tutelage. And my most humble prostrations and pranams and hearty welcome to Swamiji to our midst. Dr. Harikrishnan has been taking the role in organizing this conference, which last time Dr. Dinesh Babu was taking the major role, but when Dr. Dinesh Babu handed over the HOD-ship to Dr. Harikrishnan, both of them have been organizing this conference in the most meticulous way. And it is amazing that more than 250 participants are participating, both online and offline. And this time the significant contribution has been more than 70 research papers, because research is the core thing underlying in this ISMER 2023. My hearty welcome to Dr. Dinesh Babu and Dr. Harikrishnan. Welcome to all the faculty members of the department. Dr. Keval J. Kumar is an adjunct faculty at the Mudra Institute of Communications, Ahmedabad. One is very familiar with what the Mudra Institute of Communication, Ahmedabad is. I've been in the forefront of media and communication the last so many decades. And Dr. Keval J. Kumar has been the former reader and head of the Department of Communication Journalism at the Pune University. He was formerly Professor and Director at the Symbiosis Institute of Media and Communication, has been a senior lecturer in English at the Parley College in Mumbai. He has also taught at the Ohio State University, Sigan University, Jacobs University, Brahman, Bahrain Technical Institute, Flame University, and IIM Indore. He holds a doctorate in communication from the University of Leicestershire. With humble pranams, a most hearty welcome to Dr. Keval J. Kumar. Dr. Keval J. Kumar has contributed strongly towards the research accomplishments. He has published books under the JACO books, Media Education, Communication Policy, Public Policy, Indian Perspective, under the Himalaya Publications. He has co-authored under the Routledge Environmentalism and the Mass Media, the North-South Divide, contributed entries into the 3 international encyclopedias of communication published by the Wheely Blackwell IC. A lot of other professional accomplishments Dr. Keval J. Kumar has. He is presently the chair of the Media Education section of International Association of Media and Communication Research, IAMCR. He has been the chief advisor to NCERT for Media Studies in 2004. He is also a member of the Board of Studies for Media and Communication Studies at the SP Pune University. Also is associate member of Orbicon, which is a global academic network founded in 1994 by the UNESCO. And his research interests include the communication theory, media education, culture studies, political communication, and religious communication. Hearty welcome to you, sir, once again. Dr. Nirmala Mani Adhikari is a prominent communication theorist from Nepal, and she is known for the Sadharani Karan model of communication theory of Sanchar Yoga. Currently, he works as an associate professor of media studies at the Kathmandu University in Nepal. Dr. Adhikari is the author and editor of as many as 50 published books, including The Theory and Practice of Communication, the Bharadamuni and Sanjar Siddhantikaran, Theorizing the Communication. Dozens of research articles and hundreds of popular articles written by him are published in different languages across the world. He was a recipient of the Bharadamuni Chair Research Fellowship of Makhanlal Chaturvedi Vidya National Institute of Journalism and Mass Communication. And with his broad knowledge and expertise in the area of especially the theoretical communication, he will be contributing heavily towards this conference. We have been discussing with Dr. Keval J. Kumar as well as Dr. Adhikari on the modalities of selecting the topics and other things. Let me take this opportunity to thank them for their contributions towards this conference, and with most humble pranams, once again, hearty welcome to Dr. Adhikari. My hearty welcome to all the participants who are online and offline, and all the participants from the other campuses of Amrita. And once again, hearty welcome to all of you. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Now, may I request Sampujya Swami Purnamritananda Puri, General Secretary of Mada Amritanandamayi Mutt, to deliver the blessing address.
Snehalokasumohanavadana Karunardranat Nayanam Timyam Sritajana Vigram Soumyam Amritanandamayim Pranamamim. Amriteshwari Namaha. My humble pranams to Shri Umesh, Collector, and all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. I'm not going to give a long speech. I just came after Amma's C20 program at Nagapur. During her inaugural talk, Amma covered most of all topics which they were supposed to discuss. Some of them asked Amma, how is it possible for you to know the mind of all the people? You don't know the language, but how can you understand the mind of the people? Amma said, as far as I am concerned, there are no others. Within thousands of people, I am alone because I feel the connection with the whole universe, the cosmic connection. This world is a mystery. Everything in it is a mystery. Every atom is mysterious. Human being is one of the most wonderful artistic creation of God. The activities happening are so complicated. The activities happening within are so complicated, so sophisticated, so numerous, so subtle. The mental activities, intellectual activities, processing of perception, process activities of altered perception, dreams, vision, memory, supraconscious levels, everything is so mysterious. There's a scientific theory that the whole universe, with its billions of stars, thousands of galaxies, unimaginable expansiveness, everything can be consolidated into a tiny space smaller than a hydrogen atom. The whole universe is there within us also. If you feel that connection, communication becomes extremely beautiful. Language is not necessary to communicate. Even your expressions can communicate a lot of things. Even in silence, you can convey message. After being with Abba for more than 40 years, whatever I have learned from Amma, I can tell you in 4 lines. That is, there is music, even in silence. There is dance, even in stillness. There is beauty, even in ugliness. There is coolness of bliss, even in the heat of suffering. Love makes everything extremely beautiful. It is possible to communicate properly only when there is love. At present, we can see in the media, I'm not blaming the media, but what we can see the media is giving over importance to negative news because they need viewers, readers. Well, it is very easy to attract people with the negative news. But so many good things are happening around the world. Nobody is to there inspire them. It's a duty to meet of the media to inspire them. After traveling with Amma most of all countries 30 times around the world, but I saw only good people in every country. I thought that the world is full of criminals and so many cruel things are happening around the world. No. Every country, majority of the people are very good. But nobody is there to project the goodness happening around the world. So that is very much necessary. The media people should be able to project the goodness, inspire people to do good things more. There are many people to punish somebody when somebody commit a mistake. Nobody is there to praise. If a child should be trained like that, and a child does something, maybe it is not very important, something very good, we should be able to appreciate it, inspire him. Then he will have the tendency to do that again and again. Instead, people always punish others. Punishment may be good, but punishment alone. So like that, so our life, Amma says, love can solve all the problems of love. or life. What is love? Not ordinary love. Ordinary love is love with expectation. Love not because of attachment, because of the feeling of oneness. We can get that feeling of oneness only through spirituality. That's one of the super scientists. At his deathbed, he said, I have spent my whole lifetime learning the external world, but I am totally ignorant about my inner world. Now I am dying like an animal without having any knowledge about my inner world, without having any control over this body. I am dying like an animal. Very intelligent person, super intelligent, but that alone is not enough. So many mysterious, beautiful experiences are possible in this lifetime. There is solution for all the problems of life if we know how to activate our inner power. That is possible only through love. That Amma says, love is the solution for all the problems. Of course, you people can activate, inspire people to activate that inner love, not because of attachment, because of the connection. A child never need not ask the mother for milk when it is hungry. A real mother can feel it. So a real mother can feel all the informations about the child without saying. In ancient time, the rishis, they did not do any external research, but they could understand everything about this universe without doing any research through the feeling of oneness. Amma said, I am alone in the middle of millions of people because only I am here. I am connected with everyone. What's the difficulty to understand their mind? When I am connected with them, let us pray so that we can also feel that connection, know the truth, inspire others, and make this world a better place. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you, Swamiji. Now, let me humbly request our Honorable Chief Guest, Shri NSK Umesh IAS, District Collector, Ernakulam, to deliver the inaugural address.
Respected Swamiji, respected Dean and Director, Dr. U. Krishna Kumar, distinguished guests and participants of this International Symposium 2023, faculty members, and my dear students and friends. So it gives me immense pleasure that I've been invited to inaugurate this 3-day symposium. You had invited Dr. Renu Raj, my predecessor. She's All India rank number 2, actually. So it is very unfortunate that rank 77 is inaugurating this symposium. But it's my privilege and blessing that I'm here. And as far as today's symposium's theme is concerned, communicating with the communities, that is the theme, I'm told. As far as media is concerned, from my experience, I want to share very few points. I don't want to be and in 2018, I was working as a sub-collector in Wayanad. August 8th and 9th, the floods, the catastrophic floods which happened in Kerala in 2018. It started in Wayanad and Idiki also on the night of August 8. I still remember that we were two nights we were sleepless, we were working this and that. But none of that was in the media, national media, or even local media was not covering it that much. When by August 12 or 13, the Kochi airport got flooded. The rich people of Kerala were all on the terraces of their houses asking for help, and all media covered it. I still remember it very vividly. On the night of August 8, poor tribes of Wayanad and Panamaram were on their roofs asking, shouting for help. We reached there, but it was not in the news. And 4 days later, when rich people suffered, it was all in the news. So that was an important lesson for me in how society treats everyone. This is the most important theme, which has lots of students here, which you will all have to grapple with in your career as media professionals. Dr. Amartya Sen, Dr. Amartya Sen, you all know, the Nobel laureate. In 2012, he wrote one column in a newspaper. I want to share my viewpoints from that. In 2012 July, I think the students must have been kids at that time. I was just preparing for civil service exam at that time. At that time, there was a power cut in North India, a power cut for 3-4 hours. More than 200, 300 million people were cut off from power for 3-4 hours. You know, the nation wants to know types. The aggressive anchors were very furious that night. What is the government doing? What is the country doing? There is huge power cut, this and that. And Dr. Amartya Sen wrote the next day in the newspaper that 200 to 300 million people are cut off from power for 3-4 hours. That is a very sad thing. Of course, sad. But as on that date, 200 million people were without power at all throughout their lifetime. Why is no one asking? Nation wants to know. So that message is what in this very short remarks I am able to give here. I want to underline, especially with the students here. I'm sure that you're here to make a wonderful career in media, but what about the invisibility of the people? This team itself is communicating with the communities. So there are communities which are not even on the horizon. As Dr. Amartya Sen said, 250 million people were not even having power at any time of the day. No one is shouting. No one was. Now it is reduced, of course, but I'm just saying, no one is shouting about them. No one is standing on the roof and going gaga over it. So, as media professionals, as a bureaucrat, as responsible citizens of this society, we have to think about the people, and it's apt that I'm standing here, where in Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, whose motto and vision, Amma's vision, is to reach out to people who are outside this horizon and ensure all are part of this inclusive, as Swamiji told, this oneness of universe. And that is what, as students here, I want to strongly underline and emphasize that you are here, I am here, not because of course, we have worked hard to reach here and all that, but because we got opportunities which many others didn't get. If I wrote the exam in 2014, Dr. Renu Raj also wrote the exam in the same, we are batchmates. We all wrote the exam in the same batch. If some other better students had gotten opportunities to write that exam, I would not be standing here. Someone else will be standing here. It's just a matter of the opportunities we get and what we do with those opportunities. So you students here have got an opportunity, a wonderful opportunity to study under the auspices of Amrita Vidyapeetham. And you're really blessed that way. But the question is, what do we do with that blessing? What do I do with the blessing I have got as a bureaucrat? That question should ring. In Amrita, can we give examples from films and all? Is it allowed? I just want to take permission of Swami. No, this is an example I always quote. There is one movie called Malayalam movie. I'm a Tamil, by the way. Initially I learned Malayalam before coming to Kerala, seeing movies. So there's one movie called Ustad Hotel, where the hero, the protagonist of the movie, is a cook actually. He's a cook, and he gets an opportunity to work abroad in London. So his grandfather tells, before you go and work as a cook abroad, go to Madurai. Instantly, I'm from Madurai. Go to Madurai, and my friend is there. You meet him, and he gives a letter along with his grandson. So, what is written in that letter is what I want to tell you as a message or whatever. The letter says, it is written in Tamil, but I'll tell in English. I have taught my grandson how to cook. You should teach my grandson, why are we cooking? For what are we cooking? That is the real message of cooking. In Tamil it says, எப்படி சமைக்கணும்னு நான் சொல்லி கொடுத்துட்டேன், எதுக்கு சமைக்கணும்னு நீங்க சொல்லி கொடுங்க. So here, you students are all here. You all know how to study. You all know how, you all are technically qualified. In fact, I am old now. I am 10 years. I finished my college in 2011. You are all technologically advanced. You all have the best facilities to excel as media professionals. But எதுக்கு சமைக்கணும்? Why are we doing this? For whom are we doing this? For whom are we studying? That message. And this is the best place to learn that message. You are in the best place where you can learn that message. So with that message, I sincerely wish all the there are esteemed guests who have joined online, who have come from different parts of the country. I sincerely wish that this 3-day symposium is an eye opener to you in many ways, and I am very happy and I have great pride and pleasure in inaugurating this event. I thank the organizers for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to inaugurate once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our Director and Dean, Dr. U. Krishna Kumar, to release the conference proceedings by handing it over to our chief guest, Shri NSK Umesh IAS. I now request Sampujya Swami Purnamritananda Puri and Dr. U. Krishna Kumar sir to hand over a token of love and gratitude to our chief guest, Shri NSK Umesh IAS. Our collector will be leaving the function now to meet his official commitments. Thank you, sir, for your valuable time. It was our privilege to have you with us. Thank you once again. Now, may I request our guest of honor, Dr. Keval J. Kumar, Professor, Communication, Digital Platforms and Strategies, Chair, Center for Development Management and Communication, MICA, India, who's present online to address the gathering.
I'm deeply honored to be here at the International Symposium on Media and Education Research. I'd like to thank the Amrita University for doing me this honor. I'd like to reflect briefly on what does it mean to do media education? What does it mean to be a media educator? Mr. Umesh, the district collector, has already set the ball rolling. He's raised the right questions. These are the kind of questions we ask in media education, also called media literacy, and more recently, media and information literacy. So the kind of questions that Mr. Umesh raises about representation, about who hits the headlines, who gets to be in the news, and who is totally overlooked. So the rich and the powerful are always on the front page. The others, the poor, the low middle classes, the Dalits, they are almost invisible. If at all they are spoken about in the media, it's when a big crime takes place, a big protest takes place, which threatens the authority. Most of us gathered here are in schools of business and schools of media and communication. What we are doing is training young professionals in the various media, both online and offline media, and also in various jobs related to the media, like journalism, filmmaking, advertising, PR, media management, digital marketing, media management, and so on. Most of us who are gathered here are in the business of professional education. Now, we don't, strictly speaking, that is not media education, unless professional education asks the kind of questions that Mr. Umesh asked. Those questions related to the imbalance in the media when it comes to reporting various sections of society. However, we can turn professional media education or professional media training into media education if we take what I would call a critical perspective, a media education perspective. And what is that perspective? The perspective which says very clearly that media education is about the education of citizens of a country, of a constitutional democracy like ours. I think signal has been lost. Can you
No,
hear
sir,
me?
but you are audible. Yes, sir. You
Oh,
are
I'm
audible.
audible because it says on my screen, it says no signal.
You are audible to us.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm grateful for that. Yeah. So media education in brief is education for citizenship in a democracy, the kind of democracy that we have. Media education, however, goes beyond the media. It looks at society, looks critically at society, at politics, of economics, at culture. It looks critically at media policy and ownership and regulation and above all, looking at representations. So in brief, therefore, I will not spend too much of time on spelling out what is media education and how different it is from professional education. Media education is a political project. It is to educate not just the professionals, but every citizen in a democracy. And every citizen, especially now with the social media and the new media, has opportunities to speak back to the media, to speak back to authorities in government and public services. So media education promotes the democratic way of life and the democratization of all the media. What is the situation today in our country? There's certainly a lot of inequalities. There's injustice, oppression. There is lack of respect for dissent. Only yesterday, the Chief Justice of India, who was speaking at the Ramnath Goenka Journalism Awards, made it very, very clear that we don't have a free media, we don't have a democracy. And he spoke of the free media as the fourth pillar of democracy. But there are other pillars as well, and we are part of those pillars. We, for example, in professional professional education, we are also vital to the upholding and of democracy. And so are we in business schools and media schools. What is the kind of pedagogy we use? We use a very special kind of pedagogy in media education, and I would recommend this pedagogy also in professional management and marketing education. What is the pedagogy? It's, I would say, largely influenced by Paulo Freire and Dr. Ambedkar. That pedagogy is oriented to dialogue, participation, critique, social justice, human rights, and finally, I would say, liberation. Liberation of the individual and liberation of the community and society. Therefore, in conclusion, I would say that if we do professional education with this kind of perspective, then we are really doing what I would call professional media education. Otherwise, we are just training young people to be good journalists, good filmmakers, good advertisers, good PR professionals, and so on. I think we need to go beyond that. I think I'll stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We are honored to have the presence of seasoned academician Dr. Nirmal Mani Adhikari, Associate Professor, Kathmandu University, Nepal, who's present online with us today. Now, may I request our guest of honor, Dr. Nirmal Adhikari, to address the gathering.
Okay, thank you. Namaha Sabhabhya Sabhapati Vyasa. First of all, I convey my gratitude to the organizing team from Amrita Vishwa Vidyapitham for inviting me in ISMER 2023. My place, as you know, is nearby the temple of Pashupatinath. So it's my pleasure to address people from the land of Shankaracharya and others from the land of Pashupatinath. Please accept my namaskar to all of you. My area of work has been mainly in the field of communication theory. I have been theorizing communication from Bharatvarshia perspective, or many foreigners would like to tell that Hindu perspective. The Sadharanikaran model of communication is a representation of communication process from Bharatvarshia or Hindu perspective. It is systematic description in diagrammatic form of a process of attaining mutual understanding, commonness or oneness among people. It illustrates how the communicating parties interact in a system that is termed the process of Sadharanikaran here for the attainment of Saridayata. Saridayata is the core concept upon which the meaning of Sadharanikaran resides. It is the state of common orientation, commonality, mutual understanding, or oneness. Communicating parties become Saridayas with the completion of the process of Sadharanikaran. In this light, the Sadharanikaran model of communication envisions communication for communion as our Vedas and other scriptures guide us. If you go to the third Kanda, 30th Sutta of third Kanda in Atharva Veda, the word Sarida is rightly mentioned there itself. Saridam Samanasya Movidvesam Kunyoha Anyu Anyamavi Hareta Vasam Datmi Vadnya. This is the actual mantra there. And even the root of the word Saridayata, they are found in Rig Veda itself. Sarida, the term Sarida comes from combining two Sanskrit words, Samana and Hridaya. If you go to Rig Veda, you will find Samani va Akutihi, Samana Hridayani va Samana Mastu Mano Yatha va Susahasati. So this gives a glimpse of what I have been working. In fact, the core concept comes from the Shruti itself, but the extensive discussion on how people interact, how the bhavas and bhavas are expressed, and how they are, let us say, released, how they are communicated to another communicating party. That is described through the Rasa Siddhanta, Rasa theory. So Bharata's Natya Shastra and Bhartihari's Vakyapadiya are two principal sources for the Sadharanikaran model of communication. Uh, it is considered that Vakyapadiya was written about 2000 years ago, and Natya Shastra is considered even older than Mahabharata and Ramayana. So we can see how old texts are these, but they have been very popular texts. They are still read in uh, wider scale in our society. Many people, let us say, practice them knowingly or unknowingly. And while trying to understand communication, yeah, we even today are mostly exposed the Western theories and models of communication, and that is due to profound causes here. The though we have been practicing communication, all human beings and other beings also are engaged in communication since the creation, we can say. But the modern discipline of knowledge called communication or mass communication, literacy, media studies, journalism, all these were institutionalized in the West, especially in the US universities right after the Second World War. So it was obvious that when they were institutionalizing the discipline and making curricula, they were looking into their own tradition, their own civilization. Yeah, obviously going back to ancient Greece. So when the era of plant development and hence development communication, all this started on the auspices of, let us say, IMF, World Bank, and even some UN agencies. Then virtually it became by default extension of the Western theories and models to other countries. So it was a kind of linear expansion. But it is not that we did not have thoughts on communication process or how to make communication effective. We have had, let us say, great empires, yeah, a great civilization here. So to make the civilization vibrant, and also in order to make the empires work, they need vast resources for communication as well. So a communication tradition reads both in terms of theory as well as practice should have been there. In fact, there are, but we need to know that the mode of, let us say, learning at that time was different that of the mode of learning in the Western society in the, let us say, modern era. So even the similar concepts, even the similar things, they were expressed in different ways. So we will find so many things, so many insights for communication in our ancient tradition, yeah, in discursive tradition as well as in practices. But we need to have right perspective to identify them, to understand their contemporary relevance, and to theorize them as per our need. So that is what I try to do. And based on especially the tradition of Bharat Muni's Natya Shastra and adding insights from the Vakifariya tradition as well, then it goes to dramaturgy, poetics, aesthetics, and so on. We have lots of resources. The Sadharankan model of communication came into existence in 2003. So another area then I worked is Mimamsa philosophy. All of us know, I hope, that we have 6 mainstream philosophies from Vedic tradition: Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Mimamsa, and Vedanta. So for Sadharankan model of communication, the theoretical framework comes from the Vedanta philosophy. Whereas I worked in my another research, actually for that was doctoral research that was concentrated on Mimamsa philosophy, especially the Acharya Kumarila Bhatta tradition of Mimamsa philosophy and theorized communication. So these are just examples that we can understand communication in our own milieu. Okay, in our tradition, the world has been considered three-dimensional. We have Sthul Sharir, Sushma Sharir, and Karan Sharir, for instance. Or we have Adhibhut, Adhidaiva, and Adhyatma. So we understand dharma, and then we achieve 3 more purusarthas, and this is how they become purusartha chatushtaya: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So any branch of knowledge to be considered a complete shastra here in our tradition, it has to address the physical dimension, the mental dimension, as well as the spiritual dimension. So when we were reading communication, it was basically concerned to transfer of information or sharing of information. But in order to make communication indigenous, in order to understand the very process of communication in our indigenous context, we needed to expand the horizon of communication discipline, and we needed to give more inputs from, let us say, this Adhidaiva and Adhyatma perspective as well. So that was my concern, and in fact, not all people have similar interests. I know there are different papers, and through different papers, various scholars, various researchers have shown their interest to different areas. And one of the areas, and in fact, the need of the hour is what we can contribute to the communication discipline from our own location. And it can be an example. That is why I took time and elaborated how my works have been contributing in this field. But there are many opportunities for the scholars. So I request all the communication scholars to join hand in theorizing communication from our indigenous perspective. And I again thank the organizers and my speech here. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Now, may I request Dr. Hari Krishnan D, Assistant Professor and Head, Department of Visual Media and Communication, to deliver the vote of thanks.
My humble pranams at the Lord of Feet of Amma. I'll keep it very simple and short. My sincere thanks to the God Almighty for bringing us all together for this event. I thank our Pujaniya Swamiji Purnamradanandapuri for blessing this occasion. My sincere thanks to our District Collector Shri NSK Umesh for coming to this occasion and inaugurating the event. I thank our beloved Director Dr. U. Krishna Kumasa for being the support and giving us all the support for making this event possible. And I thank Professor Keval Jayakumar and Dr. Nirmala Mani Adhikari, our guests of honor, for joining us in this occasion and enlightening us with their words of wisdom. My sincere thanks to all the scholars of the Department of Visual Media and Communication for being with us in organizing this event effectively. I thank our students, especially the BD's Communication Design students, for their wonderful presentation of the stage. I thank all my staff in the Department of Visual Media and Communication. And I wanted to keep Dinesh's name at the end because I have a very special thanks to Dr. Dinesh Babu for connecting every dots and being at the center of this event. Thank you, Dinesh. And my thanks to Amrita Office of Communication for doing the PR work. I would like to mention ICTS for giving us all the technical support. And I express my thanks to all the non-teaching staff, including those in the kitchen, who are parallelly giving us the support for making this event run very smooth. And thank you all the participants, our guests of honor, distinguished guests, online and offline, for joining us in this event. Thank you. Pranams.
Thank you, sir. With this, we have come to the end of the inaugural function. We thank our sponsor, Indian Council of Social Science Research, Knowledge Partners, MICA, UNESCO MIL Alliance, Global Media Educational Council, Media and Information Literacy for ASEAN Network, PFMA South Africa, and Ding Learning UK for their support and encouragement.